Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the Now Morning Show right here on TTT. Now, today's leader of Now is Crystal Camejo, who is the founder and chief executive officer of Future Focus International Incorporated. Welcome, Crystal. Good morning.
Good morning, Carrie.
Thank you for being back with us. Now, how have you been coping with COVID?
I've been doing pretty well. I'm in isolation. I'm happy that I'm able to tap into the resource of working from home. So I'm not at risk at all.
Right.
Besides the fact that, yes, I have to go out for food, but I make sure I, maintain those precautionary measures.
That's right. Your mask and your social distancing and hand washing and all that.
Definitely.
So tell us about yourself. How did your journey begin?
I came from very, very humble beginning. I grew up in East Port of Spain for all of my life before transitioning to the US. Living in I would like to say, impoverished community. Nothing really ever came easy.
Right.
Growing up was hard. However, I always believed that my life will not be just summed up by the small words written on an obituary. I always dreamed to, you know, become something, not just a woman of success, but a woman of significance. Because although we can achieve and attain higher education and with a perfect GPA, our significance is determined by our character point average. And, I've always dreamed of becoming a positive influence in the lives of my children,
Right.
In the lives of my nieces and nephews. And, even though I'm not there yet as a biological mom, I do have, that desire to become one day. So I embarked on the quest of raising leaders that can protect and safeguard my children's life, in years to come when I will not be able to do it for myself. So yes, it was very challenging. Life was very, very challenging, but I've always believed in myself, always believed that I was destined for something more, even though amongst all the insurmountable odds, I always had that belief that I will not just be resigned to the cold reality of crime, seeing my friends murdered almost every day on the way to school. Um, it was a very traumatic experience growing up, but I am happy I aligned myself with people that I call my divine helpers who were able to take my life to the next level.
Now, being that you grew up in circumstances that were so challenging, what pushed you? What gave you that drive that you told yourself and you believed in yourself that you had to be more than a product of the environment you were put in? What gave you that drive?
I think you're looking in retrospect, everything that I am and ever hope to be, I owe it to first my God. Um, I can't and I will not be anything. I can't do and I will not be anything without Him and my parents. Even though we came from humble backgrounds, I know that the love that they showed and the way that they stood with me, I couldn't have been the person that I am today without them. So the staging ground was based on my spirituality, which was actually embedded in us, my siblings and myself and my parents, that going to church and seeking the counsel of the Spirit and tapping into our spiritual foundation when in challenging situations, we were able to really value the experiences we had growing up. And, as I'm at this point now and looking in retrospect, I've recognized how much my spirituality played a significant role in who I am today.
Definitely. Now, what was it that was able to take you from where you grew up into the US where you studied and so on?
Okay, I have always been fortunate to have someone look at me and see potential and the potential that I didn't see in myself. We've
Right.
been labeled for so long. It's almost like we were conditioned to believe amount to nothing. That we would just be, as you know, as they say, a product of our environment. But I've always had someone that, I believe God probably put in my life at that time to take me to where I am today. And it's not just one person. Even just yesterday, I had a few of my mentors who are now. They were just coaching me, like, Crystal, we support you, anything that you need, we're there for you. And I have never seen support on that level before in my life. Prior to me coming to the US, it was just my parents, my family, and one of my mentors who actually invested into my future. His words to me when I was leaving Piaco International Airport was, the reason why I am investing into your future is because I've always had a desire to help young people. But I believe that investing in you, you will touch more young people's lives than I can ever touch. And to
Definitely.
me, that was profound. To me, that's because my parents didn't have anything to send me out here. And that one person saw potential and decided to invest. So it's against that background. I believe, I always say that this is his legacy. This organization that I have, organized and mobilized a team around to push a youth empowerment and a youth development agenda forward is
Right.
based on that stage in
So
background.
tell
Yeah.
us more about your organization.
Okay, so Future Focus Empowerment Institute International is a youth empowerment institute. We operate as a catalyst where to facilitate awareness and change in young people, well, historically underserved youth. That's the background that I came from, recognizing that there is talent behind the bridge, because I am from behind the bridge, East Port of Spain. There is potential. There are a lot of talents there, and it's almost like if we don't create if platforms are not created for us, our talents will just die, try, we literally die there. We do this through community engagement, education, and empowerment, and we understand that in order for us to connect and have them, creating them that structure of determination and resilience, we have to connect with them. Sometimes we look from the outside in, and it's hard for you to really create systems to help young people like that, especially if you're not really on the ground and you're not experiencing what they're experiencing.
Right.
You can have any level of education, but if you're not in it, it's kind of hard for you to really understand, especially if you don't come from that type of background. I
Completely.
remember having a conversation just a few days ago with two of my board of directors. They're actually from East Port of Spain, Afia Wilson and Tanisha Campbell. They are both in the artistry industry. They are actors. Tanisha actually was featured on Black Panther. Um, and she's from East Port of Spain.
Right.
So they bring hope, they bring life. I try to engage the young people, even though I'm out here, it's like I try to engage young people. And this is not just a organization that's resigned to Trinidad and Tobago, it's a global organization. We have 167 youth ambassadors globally from all over the world. And, we have our very own Rakaya Scott, who is the chairwoman of the leadership council of the ambassadors cohort. So we have young people getting involved, and we just need to create platforms and opportunities for them to succeed. Relative to the program outline, we
Right.
right now we just hosted the women's empowerment, a very successful women's empowerment
And how was that?
event 2 Fridays ago. It was excellent. We had
Fantastic.
approximately 450 registrants
Wow.
and viewers, and over 11,000 viewers. The support, the feedback was overwhelming, and it brought us to the point where I'm going to address now. My team is very strong. I am nothing without them. They volunteer their time. It's an NGO, so in terms of funding, it's very challenging. for us to facilitate certain things, but they volunteer their time because they see the promise. They understand the vision, they're pushing it forward. And we've not recognized how overwhelming, executing such a program was.
Right.
And we had partners, we actually partner with Healthy Kinda International, which is a health and wellness institution.
Right.
And they're offering certifications for our staff, for our partners, for anyone that wants to get involved with Future Focus in terms of health and wellness and youth first aid certification. Also, our very own Dr. Sophia Mohammed, that's my sister. I love her
Right,
dearly.
yes, very familiar with
She
Dr.
keeps
Sophia.
me grounded. She keeps me grounded. We're actually formatting a program now. We're starting with 100 women, but it's Global Women's Connect, teaching them resilience and how to tap into their sisu.
Definitely. And with that, Crystal, I do have to thank you there. We could talk all morning,
yes.
But I want to wish you continued success, and I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. You continue to be a leader of now, and continue to pay it forward to the future generations. I was chatting there with Crystal Camejo, who's the founder and CEO of Future Focus International Incorporated, and the wonderful work that she has been doing and continues to do. Now